This is a must-win game for Sheffield Wednesday in the hunt for playoffs. Hi guys, and welcome to this Gillingham Sheffield Wednesday review. And if you could like, share, and subscribe to the channel, I much appreciate it. Liking helps the algorithm, sharing gets in front of people's faces, and subscribing lets me know you like the content. Thank you as late for the recent subscriptions as well for people coming to the channel. Much appreciated. I've noticed it's gone up in the last couple of days. I appreciate that. And let's get into it. So this is a must-win game for Sheffield Wednesday Football Club to keep us in the playoff. But it's also a must-win game for Gillingham because they are fighting for their lives at the bottom of the table. It's interesting, two teams in different positions but needing the points desperately. So the team news today for Gillingham is Chapman, Kawanda, Tucker, Edemil, Masson, Jackson, Lee, O'Keefe, Thompson, Olivia, and Kilman. Their subs are Delberg, McHomer. Is that any chance? Is that a relation to the old Wednesday McHomer? I know his brother or someone of that relation is at Tottenham's academy, so that'll be interesting. Linter, Elkhurst, Dixon Pieces, and Chambers. Wednesday go with Peacock Fowl, Hunt, Story, Dunkley starts, Hutchinson, Johnson, Byers, Longo, Bannon, Patterson, and Gregory. Interesting to see that Patterson playing with Gregory as well. I like that kind of partnership a little bit. It does work. On the bench, it's Wildsmith, Iorfa, Dean is back, Berahino, So, Mendes Lang is back, and Canberry. So we're starting to get the players back into the team that have been needed to be back around January time anyway. It was that kind of thing we were looking at. With any luck, we'll hopefully have a Windass back, and getting the player back for the Easter running weekend could be very crucial indeed. These are games we need to start hoping other teams around us can drop points and we can pick many points as possible. The Atkinson Stanley game at this week was a bit of a game. It was our game in hand, and it was really bad to drop points there. So let's see what happens, and hopefully we can get all 3 points today. Well, we started okay for the first 5 minutes, and then we let Gillingham into it. What is it with Wednesday coming against teams that are a bit more physical than us? I'm going to go a bit higher there. Teams that are more physical than us, we struggle against every single time. Every time there's a team that's got a little bit more bite, a little bit more physicality, we don't do well at all. And that has been the case for most of this season. Dunkley's had a mare in that first half. He really not looked comfortable. You can tell this is a back three that hasn't played together at all. I'm a bit concerned why he didn't pick Iorfa for this game. It would have been ideal to keep that going. But hey-ho. But it's just nothing stuck today. Nothing has stuck at all. They are closing down the pockets of space that we would normally run into. We're really struggling to keep the ball. Nothing seemed to be sticking every time we got the ball as well. Fantastic double save by Bailey Peacock Fowl to keep it 0-0. And it'd been all then. They had a slew of corners which we really struggled with to defend, to be fair. And each time you're looking at it, you're like, can we actually try and get forward? When we had got forward, it'd been a bit of a too long ball going forward. And it's either been too long or we've not controlled it. We're just not giving them any attacking threat at all. Patterson's not done well this half. Gregory, when he had tried to hold it up, there's not been enough around him. Johnson tried to get with a jinking runs. Something needs to change at half time because this isn't working. Whatever formation Darren tried to done today, or whatever team sheet he picked here, we are not working. It's not vibing. They're especially at the back. They're all over the place at back. Shea Dunkley's trying to play all three positions as centre back, and he's not letting other players, i.e. like Story, get hold of the ball and do his job. I get it, he wants to try and do well, but we need to improve this massively because right now it's not a good time for us, like, trying to get the ball forward. Massively need to improve in that second half. I think it will do. We got the firepower to come off the bench. Maybe this will be a good game to get Mendes Lang to stretch his legs out and get a bit more going forward. We've got Berahino who could come on. We've got Canberry. There are players there that could change it, but for me, I'd rather see Iorfa come on for Dunkley just to try and shore up the back a bit and then work from there. Because leave with that, Dunkley can bring the ball out forward and get back. But at half-time, it's 0-0, and it wasn't the great half of football for Wednesday. Gillingham, better team in this game so far. Second half, they start really well, Gillingham. They really get into this game, and they're very good at getting forward, and we're just poor at the back, letting them get in. And it took us a long time to get into this game. It really did. But they were the better team. They looked more organised. They looked like they had a bit going forward. And we just didn't look like scoring at all. Really didn't look like scoring. And this had been an issue with Wednesday. It's 2 steps forward at times, and then it's a million back. Because since we got those 6 goals versus Cambridge, we have been awful. We really have. We didn't turn up against Accrington Stanley well. We were struggled in that. And again, we go against another team that's very physical. And again, we still don't manage to do it. Any team that is physical against Sheffield Wednesday Football Club have a better chance for us. And they were so much better. We didn't get back into the game till about the 70th minute. We made changes, bringing on Berahino and Mendes Lang. That looked decent with Hunt and Patterson going on. And we started to get chances, but all the chances were coming from range. There was a shot from Barry Bannon, which wasn't really a shot. 2 shots on target, I think it was all game. And that's not good enough. They're fighting for their lives. They frustrated us really well. And it's one of those things where it's the same kind of thing on midweek game. It is exactly similar. Teams who play physical football, we really struggle against. This was a perfect opportunity for us to get 3 points this weekend and try and put a bit of pressure on with a team that is fighting really well. This is no disrespect to Gillingham. They are fighting for their lives, and they've shown that if you are fighting for your life, you can put a good performance in, and they did. We're now outside the playoff spot on 66 points with Wickham as well, with Sunderland on 67 points, Oxford on 68, Plymouth on 71, Rotherham lost, and Wigan are chomping at the bits here on 79 points with MK Dons on 76. So it may not be all clean sailing for Rotherham as yet, but it was just a very poor game for Wednesday. We didn't handle it well. I don't get the whole team kind of thing. We basically changed the winning team a little bit, and that one doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I get Gibson's injured, but since that 6-0, the kind of idea of going, right, we can go into this, we can have a bit more creativity, we can open our legs up against certain teams, it's not there. We got Cheltenham next. We need to improve at the back. Dunkley was horrendous today. Really wasn't good. Its point dropped. It's a pain in the backside. It was a much needed chance to put some pressure on teams around us, and it didn't happen. And this is Wednesday to a T. We are so inconsistent. 1 week we can be really good and look like we're up there challenging. The next week we can go back to being a team that just can't seem to make any chances or make anything stick. 0-0, good point for Gillingham, bad point for us, but we'll have to take the point. It's better than a loss.